So as you can see here, a few things that the Biden administration put in place to make student loans a bit more bearable are now gone. That combined with inflation, combined with the rising cost of everything and wages stagnating, it just seems like an unsustainable thing. It seems like a bubble that is building. I don't know how people are going to pay back these loans when you have to make the choice between rent or food or student loans. Like, that's an easy choice, no?
College is a scam. The American college system is a scam. And I say that as somebody who is in college and will continue to be in college until I get my degree. Why are they making me take all these unnecessary classes that I'll never use a day in my career? Tell me, why do I need to take college algebra? It's not necessary. Oh, it's good for your brain. You know what else is good for my brain? Not getting in debt for college classes that are never going to be useful for my career. Why are they not taking some of my college credits from another school? Oh, you took chemistry and you got an A at Arizona State University, but we can't take it because we think our introduction to chemistry is better suited. Why? Oh, we gotta evaluate to make sure that class will actually count with us. You're a community college. Let's tone the ego down a little bit. Not to mention, every single time I meet with an advisor, they're like, oh, actually, I know last time we said you only have 2 more classes to take. It was a lie. You actually have 3 more classes on top of the 2 that you were told that you need to take. It's a scam. It's a scam. Just give me the classes that I need to be successful in my career. Don't put all this extra fluff in it just because you think it's fun and good for my brain.
A lot of college students in America are starting to feel like going to college is a scam because more and more of these people are reporting that college actually doesn't train them for any real life skills. All it does for them is racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases in debt. This is a lot of money to pay back in the future, even if they land a good job. More and more college graduates report that they have a hard time landing even an entry-level job in this very tough job market. That makes their future outlook even more bleak.
Some random day in high school, you decide where you're going to go to college. Then, on some random day, you finish college. Then, on another random day, you pay off all your student loans. And all of these things feel so anticlimactic. I just paid off all my student loans about 3.5 years post-grad. I am so excited. Like, I have literally worked so hard the past 3.5 years to be able to do this. And especially the waiting period of my payment processing, those like 2 to 3 days, built up even more to the anticlimacticness. Because one morning I just logged in to check on it and balance is 0. I don't get any confetti? I don't even get confetti on the screen. That's what I want. But yeah, pretty crazy. And the funniest, best part is that one day I'm gonna do it all again. One random day I'm gonna decide I wanna go back to school. I'm gonna decide where I wanna go to school. I'm gonna finish that school. Probably gonna pay for student loans again. And that's just life.
I have paid $15,000 towards my student loans since I graduated in 2018. So the past 6 years, I have put $15,000 towards my student loans, particularly my Parent Plus loan that the original balance that we took out was a little over $17,000. And I have paid $15,000 towards that loan over the past 6-ish years. You want to know what my balance is now? My balance is still around $15,500. So that means I have spent $15,000 over the past 6 years for my balance to only go down by like $1,500. That means I have spent $13,500 roughly to just interest. And that is the issue with student loans and why people want them to be forgiven and people want reform is because of the interest. The interest makes it nearly impossible for a normal person to pay off their loans. I have no problem paying off the loans that I took out from the government. I have no problem paying them back. I have been paying them back. I've been making my payments every single month, but the interest makes it impossible for you to be able to actually pay down your principal balance so you can pay them off one day. Interest compounds daily, not like a normal car loan or like a mortgage or credit cards or anything like that. Like student loans are so different and the interest goes up so incredibly fast that unless you have large amounts of money to make large payments to pay down your principal, you are just basically never going to be able to pay off your student loans. loans. And it's absolutely insane that I have essentially wasted over $13,000 the past 6 years trying to pay off these loans. And my balance has only gone down about $1,500. That's absolutely insane. It literally makes me sick to my stomach that I have wasted that much money over the past 6 years by being responsible and paying my loans. It's so gross.
I'm 35 years old and in $169,292.74 of debt, and I still live at home with my parents. And you might as well bump that up to $266,722.97 in debt if you add in how much I will pay in interest. I started aggressively looking at my debt in January and truly didn't know the full financial picture until I got it all down on paper. Debts include 2 private student loans, 10 federal student loans, 1 auto loan, 1 private loan, and 13 credit cards. I've already taken some drastic measures to reduce spending and start side hustling. I started posting my debt payoff journey here on TikTok in hopes of growing and getting into the creator fund. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching and following. I'm selling my debt tracking template, I'm door dashing, donating plasma, selling items around the house, and doing TikTok shop to try and make a dent. I made some really good progress so far thanks to an annual bonus I got from my 9-to-5 job, but I've got a long way to go. I've been able to negotiate most of my interest rates on my credit cards down with the help of a debt management plan, but the interest on my student loans is wild. My 2 private student loans have interest rates of 12.75% and 8.9%, while my federal loans range from 5.8 to 6.6%. The private student loans are from my undergraduate degree, which I earned over 15 years ago. I would probably puke if I knew how much I had already paid. And to this day, I think about all the frivolous things I bought and did when I was in my teens and 20s with this money, and wow, if I would have known I would be paying for tank tops and fun nights out at bars 1,000 times over the next 15 years, I might have made some different choices. Even though I've already paid off about $31,000 of debt so far this year, I'm still not looking at being debt-free until 2040. I honestly cannot imagine another 15 years of paying on this debt, especially with so many other life milestones I want to achieve, like buying a house and having kids. I also just got engaged, and it truly makes me sick thinking about how I am bringing more than $150,000 of debt into our marriage starting out. This is not a video to complain by any means because these were my own choices and I'm working to pay back what I owe, but I hope sharing this can resonate with others, and if you want to follow along on the journey and like and follow and share and all that fun stuff, that would be great.
This is not a payment that most student loan borrowers wanted to see over the weekend, but it's a new headline from Forbes that says payments for student loan borrowers could triple in 2025. Yes, triple. Now, where is this coming from and how could that happen? Well, Adam points out here in his article for Forbes that there are a lot of factors that are going to be changing this year. The repeal of the SAVE plan and or the SAVE plan getting struck down by the courts. The fact that the other student loan repayment plans like IBR and Pay As You Earn are more expensive than the SAVE plan, both because they use a different formula for discretionary income and the percentage of discretionary income you use. And, there's also the fact that people haven't had to recertify their income, some of them as long as 4 years ago. And we've had inflation and rising wages, and the economy is a very different place than it was pre-pandemic. So all of these factors together, new repayment plans, recertifying your income, the elimination of the SAVE plan, higher incomes, all could lead to student loan borrowers seeing some of their student loan payments triple or more. Now, what can you do? Well, there's not a lot you can do except plan and prepare for it. So if you were in the SAVE forbearance right now, you should be running the student loan repayment estimator on studentaid.gov and seeing what your payments could be. If you are looking at recertifying your income because you're already on IBR or Pay As You Earn, you need to do that ASAP so that you can use your lowest income possible. If your income has changed, say you lost your job this year, you can recertify immediately using your current income, which is 0, to get that lower payment for at least the next 12 months. So the bottom line is your payments could be rising this year and you need to plan ahead and take action for it. So let me know your thoughts. Are you seeing your payments rising? Are you writing out the forbearance and letting it be? Share your notes in the comments. I'd love to know.
Hello, today we'll be totaling up my 6 figures of debt as a 24-year-old. These are all the current balances that I owe on my private student loans, my federal student loans, and my car loan. So we're going to start with my private student loans. There's 8 of them. I wrote them all down. The first one was at $53,413.50. The second one was $14,995.82. The third one was $4,702.74. The fourth one was $6,692.99. The fifth one was $21,933.44. The sixth one was $16,232.62. The seventh one was $26,844.29. And the last one was $14,691.70. So the total for my current balance on my private student loans was $159,547.10. Next, we'll do the federal loans. There's also 8 of them. The first one was $3,393.30. The second one was $1,986.92. The third one was $4,270.64. The fourth one was $1,970.55. The fifth one was $5,282.03. The sixth one was $1,933.79. The seventh one was $5,361.21. And the last one was $1,967.25. So my total for my federal student loans is $26,102.69. And then I got a car, so my car loan was $20,294.60. So the grand total of all the debt that I currently owe is $205,944.39.
I'm just going to put this out in the TikTok world. I'm a little bit frustrated. This is regarding student loans. If you don't give a crap about student loans, you can just be on your way. I have been paying on my student loans since 2008. I have never been delinquent. I have never missed a payment, and I've always made the payment that is requested, and even I've made additional payments or sometimes more than my payment. I have been in the forgiveness plan since 2008. Now, when I graduated college with my degree in education, I left with a little under $28,000 in student loans. I, to date, have paid $37,000 back to my student loans since 2008, but I still owe like $58,000. The math isn't mathing. I'm not great at math, but the math isn't mathing there. So I've actually paid off my student loans. I was rolled over into the SAVE plan. And if you aren't aware, SAVE plan currently is in litigation, and it has been in forbearance, which means that you do not have to make any payments and there's no interest accruing. However, our lovely government has now decided that starting August 1st, less than 30 days notice, interest is going to start accruing on your student loans. So yes, think about that. Your loan is in forbearance. It's in the middle of litigation lawsuits. You aren't required to make payments, but now interest is going to accrue, which means it's just basically going to drive up your balance. Can you make payments towards just the interest? Yes, of course you can. But I've been seeing a lot on TikTok, people are like, you need to find a way to get out of the SAVE plan. Okay, let's go see. I applied back in January and was told I wasn't eligible. They would then consider me for some other type of plan. Okay, well, here it is July 10th, and I contacted my servicer, Advantage, and they said they don't know. They directed me back to the studentaid.gov, and because it's been more than 6 months, they told me to submit an application. Working on my said application, it now tells me my repayment plan option. Yes, my payments are going to double, and I'm looking at about $900 or so a month, I guess. It's an estimate. The problem I have with this is, as of today, in the SAVE plan, my forgiveness is now January of 2028. Prior to the litigation and everything going in forbearance, my forgiveness was January of 2027. I still make payments even though I'm not required, and those payments do not count towards my payoff. They're just payments. If I opt, according to the studentaid.gov, if I opt to go into the only payment plan I am given, my student loan forgiveness starts over. According to this, it says I will now start again for 25 years. So 300 months, which means my forgiveness now would take effect of May of 2032. Make this make sense. Make this make sense to me. Like, I am almost there. So do I just sit in the save plan and pay the interest until the government, who has already said they're getting rid of the save plan, and then I get forced into something else? But then I lose my forgiveness? Like, this administration is really, I'm sorry, but they don't want you to have an education. They don't want to help you get out of this. Like, I've been paying on my student loans since 2008. I have a 20-year forgiveness, and I am almost there. And now they're trying to tell me if I get out of the save plan, I start over. Like, if there's anybody out there in the world of student loans that's feeling this frustration, anger, like, anybody need a degree in early childhood education, I will Photoshop my name off and put you on there, and you can gladly have it. If you're in the student loan world, if you're a student loan lawyer, anything, any help, please. Like, none of this makes sense. I have no problem making my payments, but it's like I've done my time. I have paid off my student loans that I took out, but the interest is killing me. Make this make sense. Like, make this make sense. So if anybody has any advice, can you comment, drop me a message, anything? I am at a loss for words. I don't regret going to school and getting my education and my degree. I don't really use it because the world of teachers is suffering, and I lost my job as a teacher to budget cuts. I'm at a loss. So if anybody's got anything, please drop me a comment, like, share, I don't know. There's got to be something. Thanks.
If you're going to take out student loans, make sure you know the terms. I love talking about scholarships on here, but I know a lot of people have to take out student loans, and a lot of you guys don't know what the terminology means. So I'm going to explain today what the difference is between an unsubsidized loan and a subsidized loan. These are both federal student loans from the government, but the main difference is when these loans accrue interest. For example, when you take out a subsidized loan, that means that no interest is going to accrue on top of the balance that you took out until after you get out of college. Unsubsidized student loans are going to start accruing interest as soon as you take them out, all the way through your college degree, and then after until you pay it off. The government wants to make money. So because subsidized loans, they don't charge interest on, they don't really make any money from it. So that being said, they do put caps and limits on how much subsidized loans you can have. Even though unsubsidized student loans do accrue interest, the interest rates are lower than that of private student loans. Knowing these little things really helped me decide and structure how I was going to pay off my loans, and I even started paying some of my student loan interest while I was in college. Don't go in blind. Read your contracts, read the contract that has your student loan agreement in it, and make sure you understand what you're getting into and who you are expected to pay after graduation.
I was just sitting here contemplating about like how I'm going to pay back all my student loans, because still have not devised a plan that's going to work for me yet, because I was thinking, you know how like there's the save plan, it's like the income-based repayment plan or whatever. So I signed up for that with my old job, not the one I have now, but with my old job, based on my income that I had then, my payment was going to be like $40 a month, which I was like, hell yeah, now I can actually like afford to pay on this for the rest of my life. Like, it'll be fine. Then I realized like that's not even going to cut into like the interest that this shit's going to accrue. So like, are they just trying to keep this over my head for the rest of my life? Like, why not just give me a job that can pay me enough to pay this? You know, like, why do we have to have all these save plans and income-based tuition repayment? Like, just make college cheaper. Like, why do we have to come up with all these government-funded programs that cut into tax dollars, and that's going to keep me in debt for the rest of my life? Like, that doesn't sound like a good solution to me. But, like, either pay more or make college cheaper. It's pretty fucking simple.
Okay, I actually need TikTok to vent for a second. If you're a lawyer or anyone really who has graduate student loans and like didn't have any help when they went to law school or medical school and all that. How are you guys feeling right now? Because I feel like my entire life I've done everything right, per se. Like I've went to college, I went to law school, I worked my ass off. I'm still working my ass off, and honestly, part of me is like, why did I do this to myself, you know? But with all of that, I have student loans, and in order to pay them off and not have an insane amount of interest, you have to pay a shit ton off a month, right? But in this economy and with the types of jobs available, it's like hard to do both, you know? It's almost as if, should I just for the next 20 years not buy a home, not have a family, and pay off my student loans? Or should I live my life, pay off what I can, be a mom, have kids, get a house, and obviously over time I'm gonna have to pay a hell of a lot more? I don't even know. And then there's the whole, I used to have like a payment plan, but now all of that's paused because of the new administration. No one really knows what's going on. It just kind of feels like a mess. And I don't know, like I just feel like there's no winning in life. Like there's no winning. I am like very pessimistic and depressed right now, honestly. If anyone else is going through this, let me know your thoughts, because I like need to talk to people about this.
I just saw this video where this girl's student loan payments are going to go from $400 to about $900 since everyone has to start paying their student loans back again, which we haven't for the past 5 years. So, but I just want to say that's a lot of money. Like, to jump from more than double payments a month is a lot of money that people don't have. Like, most people live paycheck to paycheck. And what happens if you don't pay that money is your wages will be garnished, you'll go into collections, and you'll go into more debt. And the thing is, people know what they signed up for, right? They know they signed up for these student loans, and they know that they have to pay them back. But it's not the actual student loans, it's the interest that's the biggest problem. Which I saw somebody else post that they paid $120,000 towards their student loans in the last 10 years. And it's only made their actual student loan debt go down by $4,000. So they've paid $116,000 just towards interest. That is insane and so unfortunate.
The student loans crisis is truly get at the student loans crisis is developing fast in America. The student loans crisis is developing fast in America. There are a lot of young people who are at risk of defaulting on their payments, and some of them have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. So their monthly payment is over $800, and sometimes their wages are being garnished when they can't make those payments back. The situation is leaving a lot of young people very desperate, because on top of their insanely high student loan debt that they have to pay back, sometimes hundreds if not thousands every month, they're facing with one of the toughest job markets in the past decades. If you like this video and my commentary, don't forget to subscribe by clicking this icon above, and you can watch more content that's similar to this by clicking here below.